Hello everybody, NGS here and welcome back to Tokyo 24 Ku. Episodes 1 to 7 of this show were ranging from pretty decent start to pretty damn annoying and just outright badly written, in my honest opinion, episodes later on. And episode 8, the last episode, was the first genuinely good one. In Sabikui Bisco, and I'm sorry to bring up another show, but it's an interesting pattern that I noticed. In Sabikui Bisco, episodes 1 to 7 were amazing. Easily anime of the season candidate, for me at least. Episode 8 was quite frankly trash, very badly written. Episode 9 was arguably even worse. So if the trend of Sabiku Ibisco and Tokyo 24Ku being the reverse of each other holds, episode 9 of Tokyo 24 should be fucking amazing. And I hope it will be. I hope that they got out of whatever slump they were in, and now we're gonna get some, some actually good writing and a good show overall, right? It doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you end, some people would like to say. Right. What happened in the last episode that made it so good? First of all, Kouki. Kouki seems to have been finally shaken out of his indifference, not quite indifference, but him following the status quo, him following his father. Tsuburagawa being put into danger and Koki having to make a choice and getting to know all the additional details about the Kanae system, how his mother didn't want it to exist, yada yada yada. It seems to be steering him more towards Shuuta, who is walking that third path, right? Koki is walking the path of the absolute law, and Ran is walking the path of absolute chaos. Shuta is somewhere in the middle. And that's something that directs Koki slowly towards the middle. Ran now also got a message. What was it? Help me? Something like that. From Asumi, as he was hacking into the whatever system. And that certainly shook him. And his mentor, Zeroth, is planning to destroy the Kanae system, thus killing the remaining um, conscience, the remaining consciousness of Asumi. And if Ran learns about it, I doubt he would be very happy. So that again steers him towards the central path of Shuta. Another thing, we finally get a successful middle path, right? Shuta decided to save Tsuragawa, and despite everything looking like he won't be able to save her, he actually was able to. Despite the whole situation playing according to one of the predictions, his presence there, his administering of CPR, actually saved Tsuragawa. And now also to a degree, Koki knows about those the third path or even fourth or fifth paths being possibilities, because the futures that they see are just nightmares of the Kanae system, nightmares that Asumi has trapped in that supercomputer. So hopefully we're gonna bring our team back together, and we're gonna go and fight against no longer Carniadis, but against Gori. Carniadis turned out to be Tsuburagawa with a mask, because uh, she wanted to have someone to put the blame of some bug in the Kanae system onto. Right? She wanted the ability to say that, oh no, it was Carniadis. It was Carniadis that hacked the system. It's, we reversed it. There's nothing to worry about, right? So, some interesting stuff is gonna be happening, and I hope some interesting stuff will actually happen. I hope that it will not fall off suddenly and randomly. I hope that this show will stick the landing, because it's episode 9. We're gonna. It's like what, a third. Yeah, after episode 9, we're gonna be a quarter through the series. So not a quarter, 3 quarters through the series, a quarter to the end of it. So I hope that the writing from episode 8 continues throughout the remaining of it, and that the show will actually end well. Not just, well as in end well for our characters, but end well as in not give us a disappointing ending. That's what I meant. But to know what's gonna happen, we have to see it ourselves, right? So I'm gonna give you guys the subs. There goes my phone charger. I'm gonna give myself some sound, and we are gonna start episode 9 of Tokyo 24 Ku, version by Sabs, please, in 3, 2, 1, go. And right into the OP. Not tea this time. It's a compote of pears, apples, and plums, if I correctly identified what was in the pot. Triage, yeah. The theme of triage, the theme of utilitarianism versus feelings versus this versus that. It really is a show with a lot of deeper meaning, honestly. I I honestly think that this show would benefit a lot from like a second rewatch, or should I say from the second watch, from the first rewatch, right? When you already know what's gonna happen, so we can focus on the details, and you can. I mean, you guys can, if you're watching it, you can pause and rewind and whatnot. I'm not in a position to do that, but I have a feeling that it would benefit a lot from being able to just pause and rewind and hear a conversation again. I'm not sure if many people will give it that chance, but I can see that it will benefit from that. In other words, utopia. However, as we all know, utopias are, by very definition, impossible. Okay, so we're getting some backstory on them. Or at least on Kanae. Yes. Is this Zeroth in his youth? Oh, it will be. I just don't think it will be a different place in the way you hope it will be. Is he dead? Okay, so dilemma that a lot of autonomous driving systems have, right? Who to kill? Yep, yep. 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 Yeah, I guess he's fine. Autonomous driving makes sense only if every single vehicle is autonomous. He is Zero, isn't he? And the bags dancing in his field of vision gave him uh, the drive to create art. Zeroth. Uh, no, not quite. Like, battery chargers were unnecessary in the Middle Ages, and they are necessary now. You need a human factor, is that it? Because only a human is able to make those choices. Yes, it needs an abstract thinking of a human. He seems fairly content with his new future, though. Yeah. He painting graffiti? Yeah, he's painting. He's happy. He can make money doing that. Yeah. Distraction leads to creation, right? Something like that. Oh, that's Tsuragawa. I didn't connect the dots that it was young Tsuragawa. Hmm. Uh, maybe without this research, she would be able to pick a different route. She's asleep. Whomst. Let me guess. Ran's father or something? Oh no, it's the cop. Okay, so how did you become a cop? From a cosplayer to a cop? Okay, so he not only paints but also sculpts. Okay, so he also created Carneades while he was at it. We're getting like the full backstory of everything. This the backstory of the cop, of Zero, of Gori, of Tsusuragawa. A message from God, huh? He got a messiah complex now? Ironic how he wants to become a hero and then went on to antagonize Shuuta. Okay, the RGB trio was together even back then. But then she died in a crime or in an accident, and Gori became obsessed over not letting anything like that happen again. Is that the backstory? Oh, look, there's a meth head. Guess who's gonna kill her? No, he's here to look for his dealer. Just, yeah, just hand over the wallet. You don't discuss those things with junkies. Call the fucking ambulance! Yeah, that's a great idea. Take someone who's been stabbed in the on a fucking motorcycle. You don't talk to junkies, you avoid junkies. And then he became obsessed with preventing crime. Yep, that's his resolve. No, I still highly doubt that this is what she wished for. Yep. Okay, we have his motivation. And he became a cop to stop crime from happening, probably. Project Cornucopia. Asumis, not Asumis. Uh, Canades, whatever the fuck, the mother's research. Okay, so did they plot behind Tsuragawa's back to destroy the Canades system? Oh, right, he was a fellow researcher, so he knows full well what the cornucopia is. And he knows what it will cause. That it will cause a complete and utter dystopia. Okay, so that's how we get the main conflict. Just pick some random method from the street. There's plenty of them. And then the school burned down. Wait, that's it? That's that's the episode. And there goes your hope. Uh, but we can preserve her in the cornucopia until such a time comes when she can be saved. Ah, no, not quite. The music doesn't really fit, does it? Yeah, that's that's not the kind of music you use in that kind of a scene. Now I know that it's the ED music, but sometimes shows pick a different song for the ED or even create a whole new ED because the existing ED wouldn't fit thematically, or not thematically, but emotionally, it wouldn't quite fit. They didn't. They just went with a happy-go-lucky. But my friends can make the choice. Yep, and that's how she connected. Okay, okay, okay. This episode did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. Let's go. Let's go through it again. And let's live through it again. Full screen. There goes the OP. I honestly thought that we're gonna get like half an episode um, of the flashbacks of the backstory and half an episode of like actual action, but no, we get a full episode of a backstory and it didn't feel like a full episode. That's something very hard to achieve, because usually, and I still had I still had this thought in my mind, and I usually do when I'm watching like prolonged backstories and flashbacks, that I want to get back into the story that we're watching right now, right? Give me some bits and pieces of the flashbacks and backstory. Sure, don't dump everything on me right now. But as I was watching this episode, it was still nagging at the back of my head, but it was still a feeling of, okay, I can deal with that much. It's gonna be like half an episode. We're gonna get half an episode in the current timeline, and then I looked to my second monitor and I saw that we're at 21 minutes in. And I didn't even notice that it was a full episode. I honestly thought we are still like halfway through. So that's. They did good. They did good. It helps that we are getting so many different backstories too. And even backstories and explanations to things that didn't really need an explanation. Like the scar on Chori, whatever the fuck his name is. Chikushi. Wataru Chikushi on Chikushi's nose, right? We got even that. A lot happened here, despite it being purely a flashback episode. Not even a flashback, but like a backstory episode. Yeah, that's just a Google car. They're experimenting with self-driving. And yeah, this is an issue with self-driving vehicles. They have to make the choice. Should I turn left into oncoming traffic and potentially kill the driver? Or should I go straight and hit the pedestrian? Or should I turn right and kill someone on the sidewalk? Who should die? Right? A human brain is able to make very abstract decisions in situations like that. For example, in this situation, maybe if she turned the wheel a little bit more, she would have avoided the pole, or she would have hit it in a way that wouldn't have damaged Zeroth. Maybe if she turned right and she would have destroyed some property, some cars that were parked there, but the friction would have stopped the car and nobody would die, only some property would be damaged, right? There are ways that the computer, that the AI system won't necessarily think of. Right? She decided to crash. But what if a head on collision would be safer? Right? Because there's more surface area to connect, the distribution of force is, on a bigger area. So maybe nobody would die. Maybe they both would be injured, but not to the point of Zero going like, having his brain scrambled. Also, cute Tsudaragawa. I know that the situation isn't, uh, it's not a situation where you should call a character cute, but cute young Tsudaragawa. Uh, yeah, he has dysgraphia or dyslexia, gift from God. Now I'm an artist, and I will be called Zero. What was dangerous in the past will still be dangerous in the future. Not quite. Not quite. Armies marching on the castle were dangerous in the past, and you would protect against them by building a moat and a drawbridge. It's not really a danger in modern times where they can just paradrop in, for example, right? Quantification, yeah. So I guess it matters how far back you're gonna go, because sure, the things that were dangerous last year will continue to be dangerous this year, right? But if you reach back like 50 years back, those things will change, of course. And if you have things like, I don't know, some war happened 50 years back, then that will be accounted for and it will skew the results. So it all depends on the kind of data you will be making your predictions based on. You will base your predictions on. What was unnecessary in the past will still be unnecessary in the future. Again, not quite, but again, depends how far back you go. Although, even with current progress of technology, this statement becomes kind of iffy, because just like a couple years ago, having a USB-C cable wasn't necessary. It was a novelty. Now my phone is USB-C, my earphones are USB-C, my fucking mouse is USB-C, and I need USB-C cables, right? Just a very simple example. Um, Wireless chargers, phone chargers. Right now, phones still have ports, USB-A, USB-C, whatever, that you can use to charge them. But I heard Apple is thinking of removing any ports and just leaving the wireless charger. If that happens, or rather when that happens, you will need a wireless charger if you have an iPhone. And seeing how the market of phones is, as soon as Apple does it, every single other manufacturer will follow suit. So again, not quite correct that what was unnecessary in the past will still be unnecessary in the future, because this particular thing can change in the span of years. I mean, even about the danger, right? If that also can change within the span of years, like 3 or 4 years ago, uh, going outside wasn't a danger. Nowadays, it is, because someone's gonna cough at you and you're gonna die of pneumonia. So again, you will have to correct for that kind of data. How people live cannot be decided solely from the past. Exactly. I have to believe in the possibilities of the future from each and every person, but how can I quantify possibilities? Sorry, it's late. I'm sorry for yawning. But how can I quantify possibilities? Only with a human brain. Only a human brain is capable of such abstract decisions and whatnot. Can that be because the system has a flaw? Yes, it has a flaw. It requires human sacrifice. Like, literal human sacrifice. They're summoning a demon with human sacrifice, is what they're doing, essentially. They're sacrificing they're summoning a demon of dystopia in exchange for the life of the daughter of the king of the land. You could make a D&D campaign out of it. uh, I destroyed Kuchikiri's future. No, not quite. He found a new future. That's how people do it, right? If one future becomes close to them, they find another future. Sometimes it's not a great future, true, but sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's actually a great future, like what Kuchikiri found for himself. And look at how much fun is Tsudarakawa having. He goes by zeroth. Tsudaragawa is graduating. And yeah, she decided to drop out of research. I wonder what happened, because that's something we weren't told explicitly. That the accident was just a catalyst, but uh did she drop the research because she decided that, yeah, no, that's something impossible without human sacrifice, and I'm not willing to do that, so I'm just gonna drop it. I'm just gonna drop my research and become a teacher? Or did something else happen? Or I don't know. So, in reaping, my current job is to sow, and you shall reap. Uh, yeah, she made the Chikushi, whatever the fuck his name is. And that's the beginning of the Mr. 24, or whatever his name is, and Carniadis. Kind of ironic. Maybe not ironic, but kind of a. Not a self fulfilling prophecy either, but what I wanted to say at the beginning, the Mr. 24 was created as the hero of the 24th Ward, and Carniadis was created as the antagonist. And now there is an actual Mr. 24, Shuuta, and there is an actual Carniadis, Tsuragawa, and I'm still not sure if she worked with Zero and Chikushi. I'm still not sure, because Tsuragawa and Chikushi, I would be willing to bet that they were working together to a degree at least. Zero, Zero seems to have gone slightly mad, and he seems to have very different ideas, right? Tsuragawa wants to explicitly keep the Kanade system running and alive because Asumi is in there, as Zero wants to destroy it. So something tells me they wouldn't be cooperating, the three of them, but I might be mistaken. Perhaps Zero is hiding his intentions. I have no clue. Stopped my research because there was a revelation from God, of course. And here's the RGB and Asumi as little kids. Here's some oolong tea, I'm assuming. Uh, Square bottle, probably oolong tea. And they're hanging out. Just remembered I had to do something. Yeah, I had to chase. I had to chase a sketchy as fuck meth head. That can only end well, right? That can only end well. Why would she do that? I mean, I know she's compassionate, but I don't think she's dumb. Right? Everybody who wants to get something from the food bank is here. Why would she be chasing this dude to talk to him about the food bank? That makes no sense. I mean, uh, kinda makes sense when it comes to her character. That also kinda doesn't. You need to see the food bank, right? If you'd like. And here, again, she's compassionate, but she's not stupid. How about you don't say that. You throw your handbag and say, take what you want. Even more so that she's so compassionate. She wouldn't mind actually giving her wallet to this dude. So why could we chat for a bit? And here you see a madman with a knife, and your first instinct is to check on your friend and put yourself in harm's way? And you carried her on a motorcycle? And she died from that? Okay, shock due to blood loss. Uh, I guess I can understand that, depending where she was stabbed, I guess. Which organs were ruptured. But usually the abdomen is like the quote unquote safe place to stab someone. There aren't really any like major arteries or anything, I don't think, going like through the abdomen. I might be full of shit, I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but usually a stab in the stomach is something you get out of. Yeah, her death, I can see why it had to happen to drive Gori into the whole insanity of trying to prevent any and all crime. I'm not sure if it was executed well. Perhaps it was due to time constraints, right? They couldn't have sacrificed however much time to build a whole backstory of how she died. So they just decided, oh yeah, she followed the meth head, she got stabbed, and she died. Sure, okay, I can understand that, I guess. But yeah, we have his motivation. No, I have a note here about Tokyo 24, but it's not a note saying about Gori's motivation. I think I only just mentioned it casually during some previous episode that this is gonna be his motivation. His wife dying either in an accident, and he wants to prevent all accidents, or her dying in a crime, and he wanting to prevent all crimes fulfilled. And for the record, the note I have here is Gori sees the error of his ways, his wife wouldn't want it. That is yet to be verified, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit to verify that. Yeah, you must continue the research. I'll take all the blame, I will pay for everything. Yeah, cornucopia. Urban planning to provide a new level of security in the internet society. Using the internet, information will be accumulated in one place, scrutinized, and a comprehensive decision will be made by AI. This is a very effective method, but it has a major drawback. At present, there is no computer that can perform the multifaceted and complex calculations to predict the events that are likely to occur based on the vast amount of information. This may be possible in the future, but at the moment, we need a different technology to do the calculations. In order to perform complex calculations, it is essential to have a standard that can determine what information to discard and what information to pick up. The human brain is an entity that can synapse information, that can calculate everything. This is the human brain. See the exhibit, yada yada. However, this method is one that I believe should not be done ethically. There is a possibility if a computer that can act similar to the human brain is invented. If quantum computers, which have become a hot topic in recent years, are to put to practical use, the possibilities will increase dramatically. However, as a result of reviewing the information already available, it seems that even a quantum computer is still not enough and that we will have to wait for the next technology. I appreciate how it was all written out, how it wasn't just gibberish, how it was actual, mostly proper English, and it was all actually written out. Good job. It actually does show a certain degree of care, especially seeing how we only see it for like what, just a few frames really. I work at SARG. And oh yeah, by the by, Gori went mad with power and he wants to restart Canada's research. That system has a major flaw, it needs a brain. Again, step of the path of humanity? Yes, he is, because he went mad. He went mad with grief and with the desire to eliminate any and all crime. I never believed you to begin with. You'll someday lie that it is that this is for everyone's happiness and sell your soul to the devil. Again, human sacrifice. It needs a brain. Look, hey, the school, everybody's happy. We need to save it. Yes, yes, my children, I will save it because I was reminded of my youth. Oh no, my daughter is dead. uh, I will turn Asumi into the 24 words guardian angel. Well, at least you're not trying to fuse her with a dog, so you're at least a better father here. Although the bar wasn't set very high. We have to have a better future, Miss Kanae. No, Lady Kanae, please forgive my sinful self. Idi. And yeah, it seems like they were genuinely Asumi's nightmares. And she instinctively reached out to the people she trusted the most. Help me, RGB, help me, Shuuta. Everything makes sense. Everything fell into place. I genuinely have to upload this series for actually going and explaining things and giving us a backstory. I'm not entirely a huge fan of one singular huge backstory dump. I probably would have liked it more if they were trickling down the backstory slowly, but at the same time, it would invalidate a lot of the mysteries because everything in those backstories was connected together. So if you were to reveal just one thing, just the backstory of one person, you would reveal bits and pieces of the backstories of other people and the backstory of the project, and everything would be more or less revealed, or at least easier to figure out. So I can see why they did what they did. Uh, but most of all, I really applaud them for revealing all of that because there's been too many shows that don't. And by too many shows, I mean mostly Pact of Destiny. I'm still burnt by it. How it created this many mysteries and this many questions and answers, exactly none of them. And even more so, in the last episode, in like after credit scenes, it created even more questions. Uh, I really like that they revealed it and didn't wait for the. Although, hmm, actually, you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this reveal works well right now, or would it be better if it was revealed like at the end or near the end? Then again, if it was revealed near the end, it would have to be revealed in a discussion with something, in someone telling them that. And first of all, I doubt there would be anybody to tell them all about it because we've seen those events from multiple perspectives, so there wouldn't be one single person who would know about everything here. And second of all, if someone were to tell them all about it, it would feel more like an exposition dump. This feels like a backstory episode. It doesn't feel like an exposition dump. You know, it doesn't feel like that one episode in Recreators where they were sitting around the table and just talking and talking and talking and talking and throwing exposition left and right and just talking heads, talking exposition. So, out of those two possibilities, I prefer this one. Uh, but we will have to see future episodes to fully decide if it was the correct course of action or not. I have a feeling that it is. I have a feeling that it is actually the correct thing to do. They wouldn't have done it without reason, I'm assuming. This series is an original series, so it's not like they had to stick to some guidelines of the source material or anything like that. Hmm. Yeah, I really like this episode. and I like where this is going. It seems like we're keeping the pattern of good um, good Sabiku Ibisco episodes being bad Tokyo 24Ku episodes, and bad Sabiku Ibisco episodes being good Tokyo 24Ku episodes. 8-9 of Sabiku Ibisco, trash. 8-9 of Tokyo 24Ku, genuinely good. Genuinely enjoyed it, even though I thought I wouldn't near the beginning, because I'm usually not a fan of backstories and flashbacks most of all. But this was genuinely good. Gave us a lot of insight, gave us, well, all of the backstories, because it was a backstory episode. We know what's what, and we can go forward from there. Where will we go exactly? That remains to be seen. So be there with me next week when we're gonna be watching episode 10. But you guys, you tell me, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of my reaction, of my theories and whatnot? You don't have to worry about spoilers because it's an original show. So tell me anything you want to tell me in the comments or on my Discord server, which you can join for free. It's open to everybody, link in the description. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel so you get notified of future releases. Today it's Tokyo 24Ku, tomorrow it's gonna be Doll's Frontline, then Symphogear, then Arifureta Season 2, then Sabiku Ibisco. Hopefully episode 10 of Sabiku Ibisco will be better. Although I wouldn't want the quality of Tokyo 24Ku to drop in episode 10, so I'm kinda torn there. If you really like what I'm doing, you can support me on Patreon, link in the description. For just $1 a month, you get access to a special channel on my server. On my Discord server, you get an orange role, you get to look different than other people on the server, I guess. It gives you prestige. Share those videos if you know someone who would enjoy them, because the more you spread the word about my channel, the more YouTube itself promotes it. And I'm a happy camper because people watch my content and I see numbers go up and it makes me feel good. Is there anything else I need to mention? No, I think that's it. So, yeah, that's gonna be it from me for today. And as always, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers. And here is yet another benefit you get as a Patreon supporter. Your name gets to be in the credits.